Hi, I'm Mike Alfiero, co-owner of Harbor Fish here in Portland, and I'm with my dear close friend, Ilene Fridling, and we're gonna make gefilte fish.
We're gonna make a stock, and then we're grinding the fish up, and then we'll make the fish patties and show you the finished product. So, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to add all of these things to my stock pot.
This is the walleye, that's the whitefish.
These are some of the fillets, but we're going to take the skeletons and the heads and put those in the stock first and make our stock and let that cook for a while. Ideally, the stock should cook for about an hour and a half. So we'll get that started now. We're just going to put this all sharp edges. We layered the pot with onions. I leave the onion skins on because I think they add a lot of flavor. I put a couple of stalks of celery in there. We put all these fish heads, bones, and everything, and we've put probably 6 to 8 tablespoons of salt in there and 2 or 3 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm going to fill this up so the water should cover the fish. Some people like to keep the head of the fish and stuff that with some of the ground up fish mixture and serve that on a plate, but I think that's kind of gross myself.
This is the walleye right there, and this is the lake whitefish right here.
So you can see that like this. And we had about 6 pounds or more
Totally
of this.
3 and 3
Yep.
of each.
So a lot of fish, it makes a lot. To get the fish all ground up, I'm just putting this all through the food processor. So the recipe calls for a 1 cut up onion, a tablespoon of salt, and a tablespoon of sugar, and then 4 eggs. I've already done a good part of the fish because it's so much of it, I can't get it all in there at once. So we're gonna do this and add another couple of eggs in here. And then the matzah meal. So I have 4 Passover matzah meal here that I got. You can get whatever brand you want of that. We're just gonna grind all this up. Put a little bit more onion in for a little bit more flavor. And see if we need more eggs as we go. So we want the consistency, I don't know if you can see that here, the consistency to look like this. So it's kind of, it'll stick, make balls out of it. And it is. Now I'm a big proponent of doing a lot of this with your hands. So, Lauren, do you want to mix some of this up? This is my daughter, Lauren. And do you want to really mix this up so it's all thoroughly mixed together? Now I'm thinking it probably needs salt and more sugar too.
Here's some sugar.
So as you can see, we sort of taste as we go. I'm going to put a little bit more matzah meal in here too because
I might need another egg.
we have more eggs. And as you notice, I'm not really measuring, but
She never measures.
well, I measured initially. Do you think it needs another egg?
Don't know yet. Let me see.
I hear there was gefilte fish being made.
It sure is.
This is Rabbi Braun from TBE helping us with our gefilte today.
So you might be asking, what does gefilte fish have to do with Passover? Well, it doesn't, except for it's a big feast. We're celebrating the freedom of the Israelites from the Egyptians, from Egyptian slavery told in the book of Exodus. And we tell the story, there are a lot of rituals, and then we have a lot of food, a lot of really good food. And gefilte fish is often the very first thing we eat after the beginning of the ceremony. So everybody is really hungry when it comes time for the gefilte fish and looks forward to it every time.
Did you hear that thing about how people would keep the fish swimming
Yes,
in the bathtub?
bathtubs. Yep.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, thank God for harbor fish.
Really?
We are very thankful Harbor Fish doesn't make us keep fish in the bathtub.
They skinned it all and filleted it all for us. It makes it so much easier.
Yeah, this looks right.
That looks
It
right.
smells good.
We used to keep eels in the bathtub for Christmas Eve.
Oh, is that
Same
the...
idea.
Yeah.
I always think of Harbor Fish as like a toy shop at Christmas time because
Don't take this out.
there's so many good things in there then. You just walk
Well-
through and you just want to taste all of it.
Well, that's not helpful for Passover.
I guess it's okay to speak from the back of the room, but this is not too far away from when we make fish cakes.
Right, or canals in French cooking.
In Nana's fish cakes in our cookbook, it's almost the same ingredients with the exception the fish gets cooked first.
Oh, okay.
And then it gets mixed, and then it gets pan fried.
So how big do we want these?
Just one handful like that. And just make patties and line them up on here. Putting you guys to work.
In ovals?
Yes, please. And then what we're going to do is we'll put it in the stock, which I've had boiling here. And then they have to cook for like 30 minutes.
Is that it?
And we also have sliced carrots, also that's already in the stock, that are cooking away.
Is that for flavor?
For flavor and because it's fun to eat it with that, it kind of cuts the fishiness of it. And it helps if you keep wetting your hands with that so it doesn't stick.
This seems to be a good activity to do with little kids too, right?
Or with your rabbi?
Or with your rabbi.
Eileen, if you make them at different sizes, do they cook at
Yeah, they would probably cook at a different rate.
what do? You do
Yeah, just put your hands in there and just get them
Like
wet.
when I make turkey meatballs.
Now this is nothing like jarred gefilte.
No, it doesn't even resemble it in any shape or form.
Totally different. Oops, speaking of shape.
So I'm going to take this one, and you can stir in the second one.
Oh, cool.
And I'm going to put these into our stock.
This is only the filleted fish, right?
Yes, yes.
That
We
you
use
mushed up.
the bones and the heads are all in the stock pot. And then we let that cook, and then we'll cook it down. And then as we cook it down, it will gel up, hopefully.
How long do they stay in the pot to cook?
Half hour?
Half hour? And then they come right out immediately?
Yep.
And then you chill them.
Yes.
You can eat them warm, but that's
You
not...
can. I don't think the flavors fully develop that way. I think if you let it actually sit overnight, I think the flavor kind of develops a bit
Right.
more.
They also freeze really well. It's not oily, so you can freeze it pretty well.
Is that it?
Just
One more.
wow.
One.
So if you wanted to get super creative, could you put like harissa in them?
I'm
or
sure you could do whatever you want. I was noticing some of the new, more modern recipes call for things like fennel in the stock and in there and some other spicing, things like that. But this is sort of the old classic way. This is sort of what they're calling Bubby's recipe.
Uh-huh.
So the Bubby is a Jewish grandma. So this is the old recipe. So and then we'll put all of this in here. And it's helpful to have two stock pots going with, well, I
Well,
guess.
when you make 6 pounds of fish.
When you make 6, it's a lot of fish. So well, I didn't even count this time how many we made, but
How much do you make for the Seder?
About 1 piece a person for the Seder. So 3 pounds of fish for, what, 6 people maybe? Or 6 or 8
well,
people
no,
probably.
the first time I did a trial run on this recipe, and I used half of it, so that was 3 pounds, and that made 18 patties. So
18 gefiltes. It made high gefiltes. See?
So we've cooked this for 30 minutes, and then we've let it sit and refrigerated so that it could really firm up. And I think the taste develops a bit better too that way. And then this is what we have for the finished product. And notice the dish of horseradish in the center, because you eat gefilte fish with horseradish. You also have red horseradish, which is cut with beets. And there you go.
You can eat this warm, but traditionally it's cold.
Yeah, I personally think it tastes better cold because I
Right.
think it's had a chance to really kind of bring out the flavors.
It smells really good.
Oh my
Would you stop using your
It
hands?
smells like Passover.
It smells like Passover.
Oh wow. This is amazing.
Yeah. Good.
Is it?
Which
Does
one
it
did I
taste
s-
pretty much the same every time, or is it always different?
Delicious.
It's a little different.
It's
Well,
really
that's
good
because she
with
doesn't follow a
brisket.
It
recipe.
depends what I feel like putting in the recipe.
Okay, so thank you very much, Eileen and Dave, sharing your house, your recipe,
This was fun.
and Lauren and Rabbi Braun. Thank you for sharing. We've got this for posterity.
We'll see you at
This was-
Passover.